So there's a new Cult of the Righteous Path faction in Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, and the first unit is called Occultist. The design is so cool. Then again, I like that dark and evil thing, and they seem to be doing pretty good against equal power farmers. That is until the farmer stabbed them 37 times in the chest. What's the point of joining a cult if you can't even beat some simple humans? After that, we have some cult protectors. How do you use a shield with a bow and arrow? I have no idea, but they've got raptors bearing down on them. Some of them did manage to fire their arrows, but for the most part, they missed their shots. Their design looks cool. However, with a bloody eye, it makes sense why they missed their shot. Kinda hard to aim when you're in that much pain. The raptors don't care. They get in close and they go om nom nom. So far, this is not a cult I'd want to join. These guys are called Torture Torch. No, I'm serious. Torture Torch. Where do their legs go? It's pretty obvious why they're tortured though. Look at those whips go out. Yeah, that's a lot of torture. And I guess torch because they kind of look like fire, like a dark evil red fire. Though their HP is rather low, this one has a sword through the face. Can this Torture Torch finish the final squire? Yes he can. These guys are pretty cool, not gonna lie. These guys are called Acolytes. They look like they're gonna throw fireballs. Though what happened to their arm? It looks like some spells went totally wrong, and sure enough, they're throwing fire and ice. Maybe one arm is on fire, one arm is frozen. I tried to go with the whole 300 Spartans thing, and clearly the choke point did not work in their favor. That was a lot of AoE fireballs. These guys are called Cult Guardians. They, guard the cult? I don't know, they look like tanks to me, so I thought a bunch of berserkers would be a lot of fun. As this guy's axe is stuck in his neck, Cult Guardians so far holding their own. Many of them are still standing compared to the berserkers. Ultimately, they look like normal, fully armored people. They're not like some weird demon or weird dragon. They're just some dudes in some sick plate mail. And honestly, I think every single one of them survived. Oh, except for poor Billy over here. He didn't make it. These guys are called Infiltrators, and as I predicted, they have some teleport shenanigans. I mean, if I had a blade like that, I'd want to teleport close too. It seems our poor halberds didn't see the teleports coming, and now the Infiltrators are, well, infiltrating. Halberds with all these walls, probably not a good weapon choice. I like how this Infiltrator wants no part of the battle. He's just up here chilling. Though all the other Infiltrators are dead, and now 8 halberds are coming for a single Infiltrator. This is Tom, the Infiltrator, and a single halberd to the wrist killed him. I've heard of Achilles heel. I've never heard of an Achilles wrist. These guys are cult terrorists. Yeah, they look terrifying. Oh, and they're teleporting. Great. Can anyone guess what that bomb is gonna do? Especially to an army of hobbits. As you can see here, the cult guys are teleporting behind these small hobbits. The hobbits leap backwards. There's a massive explosion. The bombs are dropped. There's a black hole death effect. And the blue team won by default, even if their arms and faces were being spaghettified because the cultists killed themselves and many of the hobbits with them. But there was just too many units. Also like how this guy was flung this far away. Are you kidding me? These guys are called neophytes. And now we're starting to get into the really freaky looking units. And this weapon, I don't think I've seen anything like it before. Can Mr. Death himself stop the neophytes? No, they just made them all bow. Oh no, Mr. Death can just stab the neophytes with the tentacles. Say goodbye to our cult creatures. I did not know Mr. Death was gonna stab them. I'm so sorry, neophytes. Here we have the Cultist Forged. That is some sick looking body armor. I want to wear something like that, and I'm hoping these guys can brawl, and sure enough, they get in there and explode. But nothing like a crazy explosion, more like just the spikes from the cactus armor. I was expecting some more ground and pound, some giant punch, some giant stomp. Instead, we've got cactus explosion. Not what I was predicting. Though, not gonna lie, they are doing the work. And sure, they are really spiky, so I guess it makes sense. These guys are called Cult Templars. This is the coolest armor I've seen in ages. I just love the black and red and gray. It looks so good. Let's see. Oh, a massive shout followed by a massive charge, and tons of the enemies were pushed off the map. And then these fiery swords with fire breath explosions. Okay, I am in love with these units. They're just so cool. They are causing absolute mayhem, and there's only 3 of them. The shouts, the fire breath, the fire spore, the speed. Yeah, these guys are cool. Points to these guys. Oh, but one of them managed to die, even though the other ones destroyed the ninjas. Say hello to the Ascended. There seems to be a priest dude standing on top of a golem dude. They look more like those ember dudes, the cinder Cinder Embers from Minecraft, and they're gonna fight some Pirate Queen Kira. I want to have some real opponents, so all the priest is healing the Cinder dude. And Kira's just wrecked this guy. And here comes another fight, another one destroyed, another fight, another one destroyed. This was supposed to be an equal point fight. Kira kicked her butts. He's called Cult Leader Mind Sword. Now that is some body armor with a crazy sword in the back. So an army of Jarls seemed like a good idea, and they launch a ton of swords. They have Vlad impales. Oh, the ice prisons are from the Jarls, but the sword stabbing are from these Archons, these amazing units that were defeated by the Jarls. Let me just cut the Jarls in half. If I have a simple one-on-one, even though the Jarls are worth half the points, could they still pull off the win? The impales, the sword impales, the Vlad impales. There's just spell effect after spell effect after spell effect. And we actually have one dead Templar, one dead cult unit, 2 dead Jarls. Okay, the cult units, they pulled it off at that point. Now we move on to the purple units. These are called the Shroom Brewers. And honestly, their design is stunning. The attention to detail is fantastic. And, hold on. Why are the Shroom Brewers attacking each other? Why are they attacking each other? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Is this intentional? Is there something about the purple units attacking themselves? Let me try out the next unit and see what happens. The next unit is called the Eclipser, and it's unique and horrifying. What does it do? The fight begins in the Eclipsers, and whoa, crazy ability. They didn't attack each other. They went straight. No, wait, blue victory. Was that a kamikaze move? I'm just gonna put just a handful of units here. Okay, and then come back here. Again, the Eclipses walk in. They do a crazy explosion. It's red victory this time. Those guys are cool. Another purple unit, the Succubus. Too much clothing for a Succubus, not gonna lie. Though I love the upside down heart sunglasses. Succubuses turn into bats, which makes sense. And they come in here and they start to commit all kinds of love. They just want to bring their love to everybody. They're making the mushrooms appear on the units. Okay, Succubuses, they make a lot of sense. They're exactly what I expected. These guys are called Aether Garden. You can see the bones beneath because of the clear armor. Oh, they're kind of creepy looking, and they cast huge lightning bolts and just wreck these armies. These are the Plain Sworn Templars, and they're just awesome looking, and I hope they're strong. They leap into battle, flaming swords and shouts going off like crazy. One of them is already dead. Many of the Captain Kyles are as well. Red was victorious. They're just cool looking. They're just awesome. It's called Nexus Engine Progenitor Type 0. I can barely even make out a human in whatever this thing is. Let's see what happens when combat starts. It fires off mortars from the sky. It's acting like a robot. It's shooting fire breath from its feet. It's dropping bombs. It's summoning mortars. It's breaking apart into multiple pieces. It's causing all sorts of death and mayhem. That was the faction, and that faction was pretty cool.